But what kind of questions were these? Were these questions of rebuke? Were these questions of ridicule? Because sometimes we ask this question, "Ayo, so easy, you still don't know how to do. Ayo, I tell you 1,000 times already, you still forget. So sometimes we ask this kind of question. So when Jesus asked that two questions, why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith? Was these questions of ridicule, questions of rebuke for the disciples? Were these such questions or not? I don't think so. I don't think so. When we look into the heart of Jesus, I don't think these are questions of rebuke and ridicule. And let us zoom back a little bit to see the big picture. Mark chapter 1. This story is in Mark chapter 1. The story that we are looking at is Mark chapter what? 4. Very good. Mark chapter 1, Jesus picked his disciples and he said to them, "Follow me and I will make you fishers of men." Mark chapter 1. And towards the end of Mark chapter 1, Jesus began to do certain ministry. He cast out demons. He healed the paralytic. He healed the leprosy. He did all these things. And he did all these things right into chapter 2. Chapter 1, he called them and said, "Follow me and I will make you fishers of men." And then he began to do ministry with the disciples. End of chapter 1 and then into chapter 2. In chapter 3, Jesus, after much prayer, called the disciples and confirmed them as apostles. That is chapter 3. So he confirmed them as apostles. And then part of chapter 3 into chapter 4, he began a series of teaching. He taught about the parables of the sower. He likened the kingdom of God as a mustard seed that grew. And then he said in Mark chapter 4 verse 34, one very interesting phrase there. Mark 4:34, it's not on the screen but it's okay. Jesus spoke in parables to the masses of people, but when alone with the disciples, he explained everything to them. Meaning, Jesus taught them very deeply. Jesus did training of the trainers with them. And most people believe that Mark chapter 4, the disciples were already midway of that 3 years following Jesus. So what was in Jesus' heart? What was in Jesus' heart when he made that two questions, when he asked that two questions? Jesus knew that he had how many years of ministry? 3. Jesus had 3 years of ministry. These people has left him. He called them. He confirmed them. And they are now midway in the ministry. When I look into the heart of Jesus, these were not questions of ridicule. These were not questions of rebuke. These were questions of desperation and urgency. I look into Jesus' heart and I could imagine, ayo, these people have been with me 18 months already. And I only have another 18 months. If they have not learned faith by now, when will they learn? These were not questions of ridicule or rebuke. This was question of urgency and desperation in his heart. He wanted the disciples to learn.